League. Welcome back, League. It is week 2. This is the commish, and I am here. The Ultimate Fantasy League 2014 season is in high gear. Let's get right into the week 1 matchups. That went down last week of the season opener. Rod and really fucking good Shane Ravizza gets the first victory of the year, beating Sunday Murderer 6 Nick Adams 101.1 to 45.7. Nick Adams putting up the worst score of the week in a shitty effort by him. Rod and real fucking good Shane Ravizza getting the victory. On to the next game. Uncle Raw against Die Hard Giant. With a nice name change that Mark Zanfini, he must be maturing because now his name is not the same, the equivalent of an 8th grader. A 114.6 victory over the 96.1 Uncle Raw, our runner-up from last year. Die Hard Giants with the victory. Moving on. The Tree Blazers changing his name from the Little Lebowski Urban Achievers to the Tree Blazers, bringing it back to the nostalgia, hopefully getting wins. It didn't work out because he played Team Harris. Getting the one, moving to 1-0, the 96 to 61.1 victory. Everybody loves those decimal points. Team Harris 1-0, Tree Blazers 0-1. Moving on, Team Ibe going against Team Freno. A 98.4 to 59.5 smackdown. Ibe took it. Jake Locker going off and getting 24 points. Ibe going to 1-0, first victory of the year. Freno moving back to a familiar place and losing at 0-1. Then, next to Josh Redskins against our champion, the defending champion, Team Grimwald.
Oh, did you bring protection?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Josh Redskins smackdown 102 to 81.5. Josh Redskins moving to 1-0. Team Mike Grimwald going to 0-1. And finally, the matchup, yours truly, going against fucking Aryan Nation. A 132.6 smackdown to your boy. 79.4. Hunt. All the shit that we talked to each other going to the offseason. This is truly what you did to me.
Your mouth may yet bring you much trouble, Miss O'Neill. I deliver a message. Shut it.
And that's exactly what has happened to the Dong Boys in their first week, going to 0-1. Aryan Nation going to 1-0. Just a quick graphic I want you guys to see here. Modern era week 1 highest scores. So playing right off of what the results that happened last week. As you can see, 2010 Philadelphia T-Birds, they were a 117 highest score. Resulted in the most best heralded season ever. 14-0, 2010 champion. 2011, the Dong Boys, 126 points. Their result, 3rd place, 10-6. 2012, Scandinavian Hawks, 121. Result, last place, 5-9. 2013, last year, TC Raw, 141 points. His result was the runner-up of the Ultimate Fantasy League 2013. And as you can see, 2014, Aryan Nation, 132.6 points. Is yet to be seen what the result, if that makes any sense to you guys. Moving on from that, from week 1. We have had our first trade go down, processed at 5 p.m. yesterday. The trade has gone down. The Dong Boys trade. Frank Gore, running back of the San Francisco 49ers, for Josh fucking Gordon, receiver of the Cleveland Browns. I took a chance and made this trade from all the chatter that Josh Gordon is not suspended for the full season and hopefully won't be getting 10 games. NFLPA, that's the NFL Players Association for all you noobs out there, has not finalized a deal on the suspension of how many games that he has yet, but hopefully he will be back. And if not, on the other flip side of that, it looks like I may have traded my whole season away by trading around my workhorse running back to Uncle Raw for Josh Gordon. We will, see what the results are of that once a deal has been finalized. Moving on to that, let's take a look at this week's matchups. First and foremost, Sunday Murderer 6 at Team Zimmer Manti Te'o. 0-1 against 1-0. Projections going right now. Sunday Murderer 6 with a 114 to Zimmer Manti Te'o's 98. Going off right now, we have RG3 playing Jacksonville against Tom Brady playing Minnesota. Jamal Charles hopefully getting more than 3 points, going against Zach Stacy, Pierre Thomas, Terrence West is the big pickup for Sunday Murderer 6, Nick Adams, going against Randall Cobb and Calvin Johnson. I'm going to go ahead and say that Sunday Murderer 6 picks up their first victory and moves on to 1-1. Next up, Uncle Raw against Aryan Nation. 0-1 again against a 1-0. Andrew Luck going off against Mass Stafford. Le'Veon Bell with a 10.7 points on Thursday night, going against Forte and Alfred Morris, and then newly acquired Frank Gore for Uncle Raw. Right now, projecting a 123.7 to a 98 beatdown for Uncle Raw. I'm going to go with the projection and say Uncle Raw for the victory. Moving on. Team Ibe against Die Hard Giant. Finally, we have a 1-0 against a 1-0. Ben Roethlisberger, the big rapist Roethlisberger, getting a 6.7 points on Thursday night for the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game, going against Jake Locker. Ibe running with the hot hand. Arian Foster listed at probable today, probably going to get the go. I'm getting one of the biggest waiver wire pickups this week at Justin Forsett in the Baltimore because of the whole Ray Rice ordeal. So, Shane Vereen, Shady McCoy, Hakeem Nicks, Deshaun Jackson going against the Arian Foster. Justin Forsett, Kendall Wright, Dez Bryant led group. Projections of 109.2 to 100.7. Again, going with the projections, Team Ibe to win. Moving on. Josh Redskins against Steelers to Society. Right now, we got the 1-0 going against the 0-1. Steelers Society barely missed last week's game with the comeback coming from Team Zimmer Manti Te'o. Right now, we got a 103 to 81.5 projection total. They are hating Cole's team. That must be because they are chock full of Steelers who played in a stinker on Thursday night. Like I said, 103 to 81.5. Drew Brees going against Cleveland. Jennings, Spiller, Ivory, Green, Hilton, and Cook, all for Divine's team. Foles, Ellington, Johnson, Fitzy, Colston left for Cole's team. I'm going to have to go ahead and say that actually Cole's team pulls out the victory with a big showing from Foles, Ellington, and Elfitz today in a rebound of last week. Moving on. Rod and really fucking good Shane Ravizza against Team Harris. 1-0 against 1-0. Colin Kaepernick going against Matt Ryan. Monte Ball and Marshawn Lynch running it off for Rodham really fucking good. Shane Ravizza against the Doug Martin. D'Angelo Williams, who's actually out right now. Travis Harris must be doing some hardcore party in Charlotte and has not made a move against his lineup. He has 59 minutes to take him out of the lineup. I'm going to say that Cowboy is a little wasted, is not even going to wake up until 2 o'clock. Ravizza gets the win. Moving on. Roommate battle. Frano against Grimwald. Oh, this one's got a lot of shit talking going on to this week. They're both 0-1. Right now, projecting a 102 to 88 against Team Grimwald. Aaron Rodgers looking for the bounce back at home against the New York Jets. Phillip Rivers, Eddie Lacy, who might still be out, going against Team Frano's team of Reggie Bush and Fred Jackson. Since Team Grimwald is out of town at the Redskins game, I'm going to say that is the deciding factor, as his head's not focused totally in the game, as Frano sits in the comfortability of his own home and gets a victory. And finally, never projecting my own team, but against one of the OGs playing against each other, the Dung Boys against the Trailblazers. 0-1 against 0-1. Projections looking at a 117-116 matchup for me and Dave. Moving on with the other news of the Ray Rice thing. Drew Ibe had to drop him for the year. He's done. The same thing has just happened now with Cole and Adrian Peterson. We don't know what's going to happen with that. Cole's going to have to make a decision either to trade, drop him, or hold him. And we will see what comes out of that outcome and of how that can ruin his season. Once again, everybody make your picks. You got about 59 minutes for the week starts of week 2. The commish, and I'm out.